All right, guys, we are in video number 3 of our layers tutorial. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you about free transformation and how to change the size of a specific layer versus changing the size of your entire image. So as you can see here, I have my 5 layers. I've got my background layer and then my 4 images. I've named all of them. It's really important to name your layers so that when you have a ton of layers in a project, you know which one is which. If they were all labeled as just layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, you're going to get confused on which part is which, and it's going to make things a lot more frustrating, and it does become a lot harder. If we look at this little animation character that I've created, these are all of my layers that I have, and it does get pretty overwhelming with the amount of layers that you can have. Since I have them all labeled, I know which one's which. If I wanted to hide the ears, that's something I can do pretty simply. If I wanted to go through some of these mouths, I can go through the mouths pretty simply also. Since I have all my layers ready to go, the first thing I want to do is I'm actually deciding I'm going to delete this. I don't think the colors quite go with the other 3, so I'm going to delete this layer. And deleting a layer is easy as clicking on it, making sure it's highlighted light gray. You can click on the trash can below all the way at the bottom, or you can just click delete on your keyboard and it'll get rid of that image. Next, I'm going to show you how to free transform. So free transform is pretty much just resizing an image. It's called free transform because we can make an image really skinny and long, we can make it really tall and wide, or we can just keep it proportional and just make it bigger as is. To do that, the first one I'm going to free transform is the logo. So I'm going to click on that. I can then go to edit, transform. Free transformation, and then I can edit this in any way that I would like. The other way to do that is I can also just hit Command on a Mac, Command T, or it would be Control T on a PC. When you are stretching your image, it's important to hold down Shift while you're dragging. If you don't hold down Shift while you're dragging, you can make your image really unproportional and kind of wonky. When you hold down Shift, it keeps it square for you, it keeps it proportional, and it can't get out of that proportion. So you can make it as big as you want, as small as you want, and it's not going to kind of warp it or make it look really weird. I'm just going to make this, actually try and fill as much of the page as I can. I'm just dragging out those little squares. And when I'm done, I can click on this check mark, or I can press Enter on my keyboard. Since my David layer is under my logo layer, he's now hidden, so I'm just going to drag him up so I can see that one too. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of transform, make this wall a little bit bigger too. Actually, we're going to go a little smaller. I kind of have this banner like that. So that is the free transform tool. If I was to change my image size by going to image size, instead of just changing each individual layer and making those layers bigger or smaller, what this is going to do is it's going to change the entire page all at once. So right now it is at 7.5 inches about. I'm going to double that to make it 14 inches each. I'm going to click enter or OK. And as you see, it made everything bigger. Didn't change the image really at all. It just made everything bigger. So the difference between free transform is going to allow you to change the size for individual layers or individual images, versus changing the image size is going to change the entire thing with all of the layers and anything you have in that image.